Well, good morning, ladies and germs. Um Comedy apart, if you like the content, check the like button, subscribe, follow, whatever. Today's video is dedicated to Greg Abbott. I recently saw an interview that he had, and it reminded me so much of how political speech is a very important part of our society, and it has been used criminally irresponsibly as of the late years. Greg Abbott was interviewed about the latest mass shootings that have been happening in his state. We are today on May 10th, 2023. Recently, a couple of shootings happened over the weekend on his state. There have been other shootings going on. And his take on this is that it's all mental health related. It's all criminally related. And also that red states have as many shootings as blue states. And there was a lady from a news station which did not question any of these things. She just let him go. Number one, the amount or the number of shootings happening in red states right now, it's still larger than the number of shootings that are happening in blue states. Okay, there's a place to look it up on gunviolence.org or .com, I believe. I'll check it out for you guys. Now, the other item which he's talking about is that mental health. It's like no, most of the shootings happening in the United States are not because of mental health. They're a matter of opportunity. And the shootings, I'm not sure, and this is something that I don't have numbers on, but it seems to me, but it's not happening. The majority of them were already convicted criminals. Some I'm sure it has. I'm just not sure about the numbers. But I'm going to clarify a little bit more on how I think that Greg Abbott and all of these Republican people that are promoting the sales of gun and open carry and Second Amendment and whatever are being disingenuous and criminally fraudulent to their voters. When you have Greg Abbott or any other DeSantis, any other Republican or Democrat, but in this case it's the Republicans because they're the ones that are pushing this idea. When they have their own rallies and get together, do they ask people coming in if they're mentally ill? Do they ask them if they have been drinking? No, they just, do you have a ticket? And let's make sure you don't have any weapons, especially a gun. If you have a gun, you're definitely not getting in there. Okay? Why is this? Shouldn't mental health be more important? Are you a convicted felon? Shouldn't that be important? But it seems that in the rallies, that's not important. What's important is you don't carry a gun inside. Okay? Yes, weapons. Got it. Okay? But, and this I have been told that, hey, there was a guy that went in there with a multi-use tool and whatnot, which is kind of a weapon. Okay? But nobody that, oh, well, he got in with a gun. No, nobody. Because they understand that the problem about violence, and let's put it with weapons, is the weapon, the availability of the weapon. Okay? So, if they understand this, why do they not apply the same principle to their safety as they apply to the safety of our children, our communities, our society? Because I would gather, and this is just an assumption on my part, gun sales are doing good because the more guns you have out there, the more fear you have out there, the more people are buying guns. But the problem is that they're not being honest, and the problem is, again, most people don't have real experience with guns. Most people are just buying guns because they gotta have a gun, and well, yeah, and it's such a lack of respect for life. Okay, because they know, they understand that in every mass shooting there are a lot of innocent people that get killed, and a lot of times they are children. Children right now are dying by, I don't know, the dozens or the hundreds. I might be exaggerating in the hundreds, okay, but it is the biggest threat to a child's life right now are guns. Okay, now, why is this not a problem with a sector who has made it their big thing? Oh, we're pro-life, but you don't care about children once they're born. Once they're walking around, it's okay if they get killed. Because I'll tell you, Governor Abbott, Governor DeSantis, they don't send their kids to the same schools you do. They have them in private schools. They have them in schools where there's specific, different, shall we say, laws, different standards. Okay, and it seems to me that they don't really care about other people's lives, to the point to where I say, what they're saying should be called criminal fraud, because it's so obvious to me that they're creating this mental environment that everybody's thinking that it's okay to walk around with guns. No, even in the military, we didn't walk around with guns. There's a guy at the security gate. There's even the MPs sometimes did not walk around with guns. The MPs in the ships did not walk around with guns. The MPs at the base did walk around with guns, but they weren't, once they left, they didn't go home with their guns. Okay, so it seems to me that it's like there's some logical disconnect. Like they understand that guns is what creates deaths and what initiates a lot of the violence, but yet they don't do anything about it. Now, this is your homework. Why? Put it in the comments. Why do you think that a governor would create a situation to where they have their own safe zone? Safe zones don't work. Well, they may not want you to understand that they work, but they obviously work because they have their own safe zones. They create their safe zones. There are zones where, hey, you can't walk around with a gun. And if you do, they're going to tackle you down, they're going to shoot you, they're going to do something to you because they are their safe zones. In you trying to create your own safe zone with a gun, you're only increasing the possibility of you or your loved ones getting hurt by a gun. Have a good afternoon. I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy yourself. See you around.